मंदेशी महिला बैंक प्रतिष्ठाता चेतना सिन्हा निज द्वारा प्रतिष्ठित ए बैंक जरिया महिला मानू आर्थिक सहायता प्रदान करी स्वावलंबी कराइबाकू चेतनांक निरंतर प्रयास आज अनेक मुहरे हस फुटाई पारिछि। महिला मानू आर्थिक उन्नति और सशक्तिकरण क्षेत्र में तांकर एई उल्लेखनीय भूमिका को मिली विश्वव्यापी स्वीकृति। 2018 मसीह स्विट्जरलैंड डावोस स्थित वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम सह अध्यक्ष भाव से कार्य कर सारी। अधुना श्रीमती सिन्हा नेशनल कमिटी फॉर प्रमोशन ऑफ सोशल एंड इकोनॉमिक वेलफेयर निर्वाचित सदस्य रहिबा सह मंदेशी फाउंडेशन जरिया महिला मानक पई आर्थिक प्रयास जारी रखिछन्ती। महिला सशक्तिकरण क्षेत्र में उल्लेखनीय अवदान पई चेतना को मिली सम्मानजनक नारी शक्ति पुरस्कार।
It will be an absolute honor to hear from one woman of substance who is giving million other women wings to fly. Ma'am, may I request you to please join us on stage and share your thoughts with the house. But जोरदार ताली.
जोरदार ताली.
चेतना सिन्हा को पाएं.
Namaskar. Am I audible? Yeah. Okay. Namaskar. Honorable Mrs. Panda and honorable guest, and I'm in the middle of the esteemed audience. I'm really, really thankful to OdishaTV for inviting me for this Foresight event. And it's so coincidence, Mrs. Panda, that OdishaTV is completing 25 years. Right? And our bank is also completing 25 years. So nice to meet you. You know what? Today I would have loved to speak in Odia language, but, and I was liking it because it was like a music to the ear. Really, it is so soft and nice, which also shows the hearts of people, right? That they are so soft. And I have traveled in parts of Kalahandi and those areas when I was a student. So nice to be here again, and thanks for inviting me to share my journey. Actually, today I'm going to share not just my own journey, but the journey of women whom I have met in my life while working in rural India. These women are exceptional women. They have no degree, no travel, no exposure. Incredible women. But with this whole, in spite of having no opportunities, no education, they have been my teacher. And not only that, but in my journey of life, I am so humbled to share with you that today I am going to share the lessons I have learned from these women, and they have always been a guide, teacher, or in my journey of my life. I would also request the technical team here to just play the slides. It is nothing to do with the PowerPoint, but it just wanted all of you to see who are these women, how are they, where are they living, and so that you'll get the idea. I was born, and then the title of my whole presentation I've said is that my courage is my capital. And that word has not come from me. It has come from our women. My courage is my capital. So I've purposefully kept this title here also, because this is a state where you get both sides. You get the courage also, and you get the passion also, empathy also. So you can just go on, you can leave this slide here, but I just wanted to tell you that actually I am born and raised in Bombay. It was Bombay at that time. And I never thought that I will go to the village and work or anything. But when I was a student studying at a Mumbai university, and I was actually, was very as a regular middle class student interested in Bollywood, cricket, everything. But during that time, Jayaprakash Narayan, who was fighting against emergency, he came to the campus and he was telling the young students that young students should work in the villages of India. Villages of India needs them. And I was fascinated by that. And I decided to join him. And when I was just in my undergraduate program, I had not completed my BCom. And then I was about to do MCom, but then I decided to join him in his movement and traveled across India. And I was so lucky that at the age of 24, at that time I had come to Kalahandi when BBC did the story of Kalahandi. So this was a time when I was a student and I came there. So many of the young people must not have born also. So while traveling in India, I met my husband, who is a farmer, not highly educated, fell in love, married him, left Mumbai. My family and friends were horrified. Just keep this slide. My family and friends were horrified because they thought I won't be able to stay in a small village in Maswat, small town. A Bombay girl going to that small place where there was no running water, no electricity, no transportation. So, but I felt like I want to work with the community there. Of course, life was not very easy though, but every day something new would happen. And so one day, this lady, Kantabai, whom you are watching on the screen, she came to me and she said, I want to open a saving account. And I was like, Kantabai, you are doing your business on street. You are staying with your family on street. Do you even have a money to save? And she was insistent. She said that I do my business on the street, I stay with my family on the street, and in our area, the temperature is very high in summer, and it goes beyond 48 degrees Celsius. And so I want to save so that I can buy a tarpaulin sheet to have a shelter for my family, so I want to save. So I said, okay, if you really want to save, why don't we go to the banks? So I took Kantabai and I said that, Kantabai wants to open a saving account and she wants to save. The banker said that her savings are too small. She wanted to save 5 rupees, 10 rupees a day. And banker said that she's not an affordable client for us. And I felt like she's not asking for loan. She's not asking for subsidy. She's not asking anybody money. What she's asking is to save her hard-earned money. And that she has right. So then it came to in my mind that if banks are not opening the account of Kantabai, why can't we start a bank for women like Kantabai? You can play the slide. And so then we decided to apply for the banking license. Just stop here with the slide. And actually, I was very excited. And anyway, I was known to Mumbai, so I directly went to Central Bank, Reserve Bank of India, and I said that, we want to start a women's bank, and these women want to do savings, and that is the only way you can do it. And so when I went with the application, the RBI said that the application had the whole proposal, business plan, action plan, everything. But the promoting members, who were these women, they had a thumb impression. On that ground, the central banks, our Reserve Bank, denied the license, saying that we cannot issue a license to the bank whose promoting members are non-literate. I was nervous. I was from Bombay to my village. It used to take at that time around more than 10 hours. I was continuously weeping. And I met our women and I said that, you know what, we didn't get the license. And why? Because our women are not literate. You know what our women said? We did get the license because we are not educated. We are not responsible also because when we were growing, schools were not there. But why are you crying? We will learn to read and write from today. And our literacy classes started. Can you imagine women who are working in the heat for so many hours, in evening they come and they go to the literacy class to study, but they had one thing in mind, we will set up the bank. But I had no confidence to go again to Reserve Bank of India. After 5 months, we went again. And then at that time, I didn't go alone. Because I wasn't sure how would I face women again if the license is denied. So I took our 15 women to Reserve Bank of India. And I wasn't sure what is going to happen there. But when we entered the office of the director, you know what our women said? They said, you rejected our license because we cannot read and write. Our women said, we cannot read and write, but we can count. And they challenged the officer. Ask us to calculate the interest of any principal amount. If we fail, don't issue the license. But tell your officers to do it, calculate it without calculator, and see who can calculate faster. Needless to say that we got the banking license. And ma'am, thank you. But every time, and Kantabai, who was like the first person who was talking about the saving account, from her house, she was staying on the street, now she's staying in her own house, which she has bought with the support of the bank by taking loan. So these are the women who are changing they are not only just dreaming, but they are making their dreams true. And with this, I would also like to share that, you know, when poor people get an opportunity, how they change their lives. You have this whole theme about it, right? Changing times. Can you just keep the previous slide, please? Yeah, thank you. So this is where, then when we set up the bank, we saw that many women were not coming to the bank. And we asked them, why are you not coming? They said, if we come to the bank, we lose a working day. So then we decided if women cannot come to the bank will go to them. And we started a doorstep banking. And now we have a digital banking. Now when we set up the digital banking also, it was actually an idea of women. And so one of our women who was doing making musical instrument, she was cheated by her vendor. She paid him money, but vendor said that you have not paid. And so she didn't have proof. So she came to the bank and she said, you know what, we should also have all the digital banking systems because we would have the proof of what we have done. And so we said, okay, but we are in such a remote location, there is no infrastructure, there are no fintech company, we are not in Bombay, but then we decided that we'll set up. We went to UPI and NCPI, which are the digital platform where you become a member and provide the digital banking. The UPI officer also said that you will not be able to do it. You are in such a remote location, how will you get the cloud to park your data and all that? But we said, no, we'll be able to do it. It was very interesting to see every time how you are said you are denied, but then when we set up this, when we said that we'll do it and we went ahead with this whole digital banking, and when we were setting up all that, so our women were having mobile banking, we were having ATMs, we were having QR codes, everything. Now, while doing this banking, you always require, if you have a mobile wallet, you require a PIN number, right? So our women also, we told that you'll have to have even if you have an ATM or even if you have, so you will have to have a PIN number. Our women said that PIN number, okay, but not a great idea. Why don't you suggest us something else? And we were like, PIN number will make you have a control on your wallet, control on your money. But our women said, find some other solution. And they said, what about biometric? They said, what about biometric? And we were like, that is a great idea. They didn't use the word biometric. They said, kuch anguthe se hota hai kya karne ke liye? So then we thought, why not we do that? And then we actually adapted with the digital banking a biometric. When we did that, and when they did the digital banking transaction using their biometric, you know what they said? They said, मेरा PIN number तो कोई भी चुरा के ले लेगा, मेरा अंगूठा तो कोई नहीं चुरा सकता है ना? That is the talent. And at that time, one thing I learned from these women is never give poor solutions to poor people. They are smart. If we can do digital banking, they can also do. And they have proved it. And I'm so proud to share with you that today, in these villages in Maharashtra where we are operating, our bank is operating, and in Karnataka and Gujarat and Chhattisgarh also we are operating, but bank is operating in Maharashtra. In these villages, every day, these women who are street vendors, who are milk vendors, who are working in the fields, who are doing the work of breaking the stones on one side, but with the same hand, they are using QR code. And every day, more than 3.5 million transactions take place in these villages, and these women are doing it. So you can go ahead. And so this is the story of, but you know, women don't stop here. This is Rupali Shinde. She is making a musical instrument. She came to the bank and she said that, you know, I want to set up a business. Ma'am, you said, right, that how will we get a women in a workforce? And so then, and she comes from a Dalit community. So she said that I'm doing my leather tanning business, but I want to do something very innovative. And so she said, I know I can make a musical instrument because they have a law leather. And so she said that make some arrangement to study that. Mann Deshi has started a business school for rural women, and where women can come, they learn, and they learn the business is not just only vocational skill, and then they start the business. So Rupali decided to make a musical instrument because we have a very big temple, and temples, around temples you will find the business of damru, business of khanjari, all that. So she started that. And then when she became very successful in her business, and she was invited to BRICS Bank, and now she is going to China to seek an award from the BRICS Bank, which is a bank of Brazil, India, China, South Africa. And she will be getting the award for this. And Rupali is also our head of the digital system of Mann Deshi Bank. Why I'm telling you this is that we don't want Bombay people to come and run the bank here. We don't want Bombay, Delhi people, Noida people to come and run our technical system of the bank. Rupali is the head of the digital business at the bank. And Reserve Bank of India invites her. Rishad Premji, Azim Premji invited her at Wipro University. You can see in the Azim Premji University her video where she's talking, and she went there to speak. So when Rupali flew from her village to Bangalore, she was the first Dalit woman to fly. And so everybody was so proud that when she came back, the leaders invited her, celebrated her, and kept her speech. So I would say that Rupali is breaking so many century-old caste barriers of India. And she's not just breaking and saying, but she's creating, she has become a role model for thousands of other women. So these women, and now I will share with you a very different story. Can we have a picture of that? You can see there are so many animals here, right, in this slide. Ours is a drought area. We don't have enough water. We don't have now of course you can see it, but we used to have a very bad drought. So once what happened is that a lady came to our bank and she said that she was mortgaging gold. And I said, Kerabai. And I said, why are you mortgaging gold? You know, she said that I'm mortgaging gold to buy fodder. So it was a precious jewelry. And then she said that, don't you realize that there is such a bad drought, there is no rain, everybody's animals people are selling their animals to butchers just because of that. Don't you realize that we need to do something? So I said, yeah, but we are bankers. So she said, so what? In search of water, if we actually go to Mumbai and end up in the slums, with whom are you going to do banking? I couldn't sleep that day. And then we decided that we should have a cattle camp where 7,000 farmers came with 14,000 animals. And we were providing fodder and water There was no rains. Can you play another slide? And Kerabai used to sing in the cattle camp to give the hopes to the farmers. It rained. We also started our water program. But every day, Kerabai used to sing in the cattle camp. And she became very popular. So Mann Deshi runs the radio, community radio. I would really like to say that here, OdishaTV is in the media business. In village, our women also run the radio. This is a community radio. She came to the community radio and she said that I want to feature my own program. Our radio manager said that, Kerabai, you do not know to read and write. How will you do your program? You know what Kerabai said? I do not know to read and write, but I know to sing. And I make my poem in my brain. So why would I need that? And so she started performing in radio, and she became so famous that I'm so proud to share with you that Rakesh Anand Bakshi, everybody must have heard about Anand Bakshi, right? Songwriter. His son, he wrote a book on Kerabai. And when he was interviewing her, he asked, how did you learn to sing, Kerabai? And you know what Kerabai said? That actually I got married at the age of 13. And I got pregnant at the age of 14. And I continuously used to feel hungry. And so to forget hunger, I started singing. This is the wisdom in our country these women have. And we always say salute to you, to Kerabai. But today Kerabai has become a famous radio jockey. And I would also like to tell you that you will not imagine, but you go and Google Kerabai and you will see that when we went to Kaun Banega Karodpati with Amitabh Bachchan, Kerabai was there and she sang a song with Ayushman Khurrana. So these are the women who are so aspired, and she told Amitabh Bachchan that, come to our village and see how we have done the work. Can you go ahead, please? So, but the younger generation also is not behind. They come forward to the bank. They want to change their lives. And I know this state also has done a lot, because when I came and landed at the airport, I saw that the girls, about the girls' future. So this girl, she came to bank and she said that, I want to work in the bank. And we were like, you are not even 13 years old. How would you work? So she said, I will work for 2 months. I've completed my 7th standard. Primary schools are 7th standard. And I will work for 2 months and you don't give me salary. बस एक साइकिल दे देना. मुझे पगार नहीं चाहिए. एक साइकिल दे देना. क्यों? She said that because I stay so far, high school is far, there is no transportation facility. If I will not have a cycle, my parents will get me out of the school. And so we thought that she knows what she wants. And then we decided, why don't we start this program of providing bicycles to girls to go to school? And we are doing it from 2005. Today we have given more than 15,000 bicycles for girls to go to school. And they didn't stop there. They became a good athlete. Can we have a next slide, please? Okay, previous one only. They became a good athlete. And actually, when these girls, you will see her picture further also, that they just didn't go to school only, but they started playing. And we started Mann Deshi Sports Academy. And these girls who were rearing sheep and goat, they actually started representing at national and international level. One of the girls, Sarita Bise, she is a sheep and goat rearer. And she went to play field hockey last year at Ireland. Sheep and goat rearer. She has actually reared sheep and goat. Her parents are still rearing sheep and goat. She went to play hockey in the field hockey team. She was under 16. She was the goalkeeper, and she played not only hockey, but they got a silver medal. They make India proud. They make India shine in these different international forums. Now I'm showing that in villages, people talk that, what are the businesses? Namaste. What are the businesses these people do? So this is, we have a paravets, where women become a paravet doctor and go to door and provide the vaccination and insemination. So that is how Mann Deshi Business School runs. Can you go ahead? And during COVID, we started an oxygen bank diagnostic center. Can you go ahead, please? And so these are the girls which I was talking about in the sports, and they do kusti, wrestling, everything. I just want to say that we have now more than 4,000 women, girls who are representing at national and international level. And in Boston Marathon, one of our girl is going to run. She won the marathon of state of Virginia, and when she went to US for US visa, the visa officer said that, why are you, I mean, she couldn't speak English. So she said, why are you going? She said, running. And then she said, she said, marathon. I'll be running marathon. Village girl, her father is rearing buffalo. She has 10 years visa for US. She went to state of Virginia. She got a silver medal there. And now she's going to Boston to run the marathon. So these are the women who always inspire me. They always teach me. They always guide me. And can we have further, please? And I would just like to say that, we talk about millet farmers. It's an international year of millet. And when we celebrate millet, right? But I would just like to say that millet farmer, and Odisha is the state where you have variety of millets. Millets farmers are most poor farmer in this country. India is the highest producer of millet, but US is the highest exporter of millet. India does not export highest millet. But yeah, producing, India is the highest. And the most poor farmers are the millet producers. So we have actually started a soil testing center working with these women. And this is an area where we work with men also. It's not only women. एक बात मुझे हमेशा लगता है कि ये, yes, thank you, I'll do that. एक बात मुझे हमेशा ऐसी लगती है कि मिट्टी में जो मिट्टी से जुड़े रहते हैं ना, वो सोना पैदा कर सकते हैं. और मैं जानती हूँ कि ये लोग सोना पैदा करेंगे. So while talking about it and bringing the technology to farmers, I would just say and try to conclude my speech by saying that when I was in 2018, I was invited by World Economic Forum to co-chair World Economic Forum. You saw when in the introduction pictures were there that there were 6 women co-chair. Christine Lagarde, who was IMF head, was one of the co-chair. I was one of the co-chair. And Ellen Solberg, president of Norway, was one of the co-chair. And actually, I mean, when I was co-chairing World Economic Forum, at that time I asked our women that I'm going to World Economic Forum. What should I speak there? And our women had met President Obama also in 2009 when he came to India. You can Google it and see it. We have pictures with them. But then when I asked our women that, I'm going to World Economic Forum, what should I talk there? This is a place where aeroplanes are parked. This is a place where all presidents come. This is a place where corporate world president comes. You know what our women said? They said, we started a bank with no outside support. No investors, it was community capital, community saving, community credit. Go and tell them, 5-6 years we didn't take dividend. We converted our dividend into reserves. We became one of the strongest bank. We have, our gross NPAs are nearly 0. And go and tell them that this is how you run the institution. And that's where they said that you must be talking about billions and trillions, and you must be talking about capital of billions and trillions. Go and tell them, for us, our courage is the capital. And I would say, as I mentioned, that these women are my teachers. I've learned lessons from them. Never provide poor solutions to poor people. Our courage is the capital. And I would tell all of you, there must be so many people around you in the village. they must be so courageous, and their courage can become your capital also. Thank you so much.